If you're thinking about moving to the Portland metropolitan area and schools are important to you, I want to show you where the best school districts are. We've got some good news and some bad news for you. Oregon in the education department has not done so well lately. It looks like we've got a little bit of an uphill battle to come, but we do have some really great schools here. And aside from showing you where they're at, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about those areas. Stick around. Living in Oregon. I'm your host, Seth Marchant, licensed real estate broker in Oregon and Washington. Or if you're new to this channel, we show you what it's like to live here, mostly focusing around the Portland metropolitan area. Most of the places I'm going to talk about in this video today, we do have, in many cases, multiple videos covering these areas, detailing these areas, showing you what these areas look like. So if you want to hop over to our channel and dive more into these areas that I'm going to talk about in this video, you can go ahead and do so. And of course, if you want to see more videos about what it's like to live in Oregon, make sure and subscribe to this channel. All right, before we dive into this list, and I'm going to show you the top 5 school districts, which all do happen to be in the Portland metropolitan area, ranked in the state of Oregon. Before I show you that, some of the bad news first. If you're looking some of the stuff up online, I'm sure you're probably seeing some similar things. Oregon is not exactly ranking very high in education. In fact, according to NerdWallet, they are ranked 47th overall in the country right now, taking into account factors like math, safety, dropout rates. I guess there's 28 other factors. There's going to be a lot of different ways to aggregate this type of data in ranking schools. So you might find some variations. But what we can say for sure is Oregon is definitely not at the top of education in the United States. So some of the most recent data is showing some improvement for Oregon. But in general, the numbers do not look good, and there's reason for concern and to think that maybe the numbers are probably not going to look a whole lot better in the future. There's a couple reasons why. We covered this if you want to watch this video, but we have experienced some population decline in some parts of Oregon, and specifically around the Portland metropolitan area, and funding for schools is largely predicated on enrollment. And aside from population decline, we are experiencing lower birth rates. So, for example, in Multnomah County in 2012, there were more than 9,000 kids born. By 2022, that number's down to 2,000. So with fewer people moving here and fewer people having babies, that means that we're going to have smaller budgets for our schools. Now, as far as budgets go, we're right kind of in the middle of the pack as far as how much we spend per student in the United States. So it's not a funding issue, at least right now. But if birth rates continue to be low and we don't see an influx of people relocating from outside of the state to fill some of these gaps, then we are going to see less budget for our education. I've seen these numbers going around recently. You can see number 24 on the list. 2005, under kids under age of 5 years old, 165,000. 2024, it's 117,000 for Portland, Oregon. That's a difference of almost 48,000 and a decline in 29%. So there's 29% fewer kids 5 years and under last year as opposed to roughly about 20 years ago. So if this is a trend that continues, it's going to be harder to gain the budget that you need to fix some of these problems that Portland has. Who's on the opposite end of that spectrum? Who's at like plus 30%? Like Jacksonville, Las Vegas, Nevada. Is that a good place to raise kids? Sin City, they have a lot of good schools there. I don't know. Maybe they do. Let's take a look at the best school districts in all of Oregon. The top 5 are going to fall within the Portland metropolitan area. I'm going to tell you a little bit about them. First on the list is going to be Lake Oswego School District with an A+, number 1 best school districts in Oregon. This is by the website niche.com. There are a handful of different websites that have data on these types of things that rank schools. They all have slightly different methodologies. So you're going to find some variation in this stuff. But in general, from what I can see, the data, the info, the rankings, all that kind of stuff, at least anecdotally for me, is pretty spot on. So I'm sure you're probably going to find similar metrics with other websites. If you're not looking at niche.com, Got A's in everything with the exception of diversity. That's going to be pretty common until you get into actually Portland proper. I want to tell you a little bit more about this area. Lake Oswego is one of the more popular towns in the Portland metropolitan area. There's about 40,000 people there, and as you can see, just kind of eyeballing this, really doesn't matter where you are at in Lake Oswego, from primary, middle to high school, and there are 2 high schools in this school district. They are all going to be rated very, very highly. So it really doesn't matter where you're at in Lake Oswego. Sitting about 15 minutes south of Portland. Average home prices in this area are at least low 9s, might be closer to like mid 9s, even closer to $1 million, especially closer towards the lake. And again, as a reminder, if you want to see a breakdown on Lake Oswego, learn more about Lake Oswego, learn about all the neighborhoods in Lake Oswego, you can find that on our channel. There's not a bad neighborhood in Lake Oswego, in my opinion. It's got a great little downtown. It's a very vibrant area, which is going to be quite a bit different for number 2 on the list, Riverdale School District. Now, if I was making my own list, I might actually exclude this area because this is going to be a very unique area. It's a very small area. There's thousands of people. I don't know exactly what the population is. It's an unincorporated area outside of Portland. Actually falls right in between Portland and Lake Oswego. There's maybe like 3,000 or 4,000 people like this. This is in this area. It's maybe just, it's a large suburban area. Feels like a big neighborhood. There is a college nearby in Lewis and Clark College. But there's not a lot of commercial. There's no kind of like little like downtown like you have in Lake Oswego. So this is kind of just like one big neighborhood. The grade school's right here. The high school is actually right over here. So this is just north of Lake Oswego, just south of Portland, maybe by about 10 minutes or so. And so being very small, I think this is really off the radar for most people. A lot of people don't even know about this area. Average home values in this area also makes it very unique in that your average home values are close to about $2 million. So this is some of the most valuable real estate in the entire Portland metropolitan area. It's kind of got like an old money feel to it. There's a lot of older estate type of homes here on larger lots. We're talking like half acre, 2 acres, which, you know, once you get this close to the core of Portland, you don't tend to see lots like that. So these are bigger homes on large lots, very mature lots, large mature trees. You're going to find like any new big subdivisions in this area. So it is a very cool, very nice area, but also very small and unique. Next on our list is going to be number 3, West Linn Wilsonville School District. Now, this is unique in that these are 2 towns. West Linn and Wilsonville are separate and distinct towns. Maybe about 15 minutes apart. The kind of the core, the downtown of West Linn is right over here. Wilsonville is right here, right on the I-5. You're a good solid about 30 minutes from Portland if you take the I-5 from here. West Linn if you're taking 43, or maybe about 20 minutes from Portland. And similar to Lake Oswego, not going to matter too much where you go in Wilsonville down here or in West Linn up here. All very, very highly rated schools. The population of these towns is both about 27,000, 28,000 people. Lots of commercial, lots of shopping. West Linn might be a little bit more of a bedroom community. So not like a ton of commercial, industrial like jobs that you might find in West Linn. Each has its own high school. So there's West Linn High School and then there's Wilsonville High School. And like Lake Oswego, Wilsonville and West Linn are considered 2 of the more desirable suburbs in the Portland metropolitan area. Next is going to be Sherwood. A little bit of a smaller area. There's 20,000 people here. They get a brand new high school. It's just a couple years old. This one is going to be a little, maybe just call it a little bit more off the beaten path. We don't hear Sherwood as much for people looking to relocate to the Portland metropolitan area. It's a good solid, kind of like Wilsonville. It's a good solid 30 minutes outside of Portland, and you're kind of getting out towards the farming community. So if you want something maybe a little bit more rural, Sherwood might be a good choice for you, or if you're into wine country too. Once you get down here into Dundee, this is kind of getting into the Oregon wine country. So if you want some more of a rural kind of like wine country type of feel, Sherwood might be a great fit for you, similar to the Lake Oswego, West Linn, Wilsonville. Kind of really doesn't matter where you're at in Sherwood. All the schools are going to be very highly rated. And then finally, number 5 on the list is going to be the largest area, Beaverton, which is going to have about 100,000 people in it. Beaverton is going to be a little bit more unique in that it's going to be a little bit more spotty. As you can see, this covers a lot more area, and you're going to find some variations in the school. There's a ton of great schools, some of the best high schools in Oregon are in Beaverton, but you can also find some schools that aren't rated as high. A lot of people moving to Beaverton because this area, Beaverton, Hillsboro, is known as the Silicon Forest. That's where Nike is at. That's where Intel is at. There's a lot of other big companies out there. A lot of people moving here specifically for jobs. So lots of great neighborhoods, lots of great schools in Beaverton, but you may have to be a little bit more selective if you really want to be in the top schools. And then finally, if you're wondering, I wanted to show you very quickly, where does Portland Public Schools fall in all this? Well, they're right down here at 21st. And similar to Beaverton, it's going to be even a larger area than Beaverton. And similar to Beaverton, you're going to have a lot of great schools. Also, some of the best high schools are in the Portland Public Schools, places like Grant, Cleveland, Lincoln. But similar to Beaverton, it's going to be spotty too. You're going to find some schools that aren't rated as high. So you're going to have to be selective if you want to be in Portland Public Schools. This area up here is North Portland. Over here to the east is Northeast. Below that is Southeast. Over here is Northwest Portland and South Portland. So if you do want to be in Portland proper and maybe you're a little bit worried about the schools and you want to be in an area with good schools, know that it can be done. But again, you just have to be a little bit more selective. So the data for our state as a whole, not great. And there's maybe some reasons to be a little bit uncertain or maybe even pessimistic about the future. But just know if you're somebody that's thinking about moving to the Portland metropolitan area, as we saw, there are still some really great schools here. I do live in one of these school districts. Schools are a constant topic of conversation where I live in one of these districts. People do care deeply about the schools here. And I know that we are very happy with the schools that we are in. So if you have any more questions about schools or moving to the Portland metropolitan area, that includes Vancouver, I'm also licensed in Washington, I invite you to call, text, email, however you want to get in touch. You can hit that QR code. That'll take you to our website. You can find all of our contact information below in the description of this video. Of course, if you want to see more videos about what it's like to live around this area, make sure and subscribe to our channel, Living in Oregon. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions, or tell me about schools. What are schools? What's the school situation like where you're at? What are maybe some of your concerns about schools in Oregon? Give me a thumbs up if this video helped you, and until next time, take care, everyone.